At least I think I do.
Footing
He
up
does.
isn't
He
love.
does. He does.
It is.
I'll remember this.
I mean, it might be forced love, but it's
are
love
live.
nonetheless.
Oh, after this, I got to talk to Jacob. Well, I can tell Jacob right now. Oh, no, I'll tell Jacob afterwards. Yeah, anyways.
Okay.
Hey, guys, welcome back to the DLC podcast, where we talk games, movies, and all things in between. I'm Isaac. This is Jacob. This is Juicy.
Hey.
So, please ignore this side of the screen, you know? A lot of things are happening right now, and I can't miss it because I'm a sports addict. But that's not why we're here.
You might want to take it off the screen.
No, I'll risk it. It's worth it. Well, it's not really. I mean, literally, most of it's cut off. So I feel like we're safe here.
Okay.
I recognize that guy in particular in the crowd. Right
that guy. Okay. So, anyways, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing?
We're good. I got back into Pokemon Go, and that's been really fun.
So I worked a convention this past weekend, and there was a girl playing Pokemon Go, and I was like, "Oh, that game's still around." And she was like, "Yeah." And so apparently, it was like that this past weekend. I guess Pokemon Go has events where they make it easier or to catch shinies or something.
They had an event this past weekend. It was Stuffle Day.
Yeah, she was like, I'm trying to find a shiny, and I was like, "Oh, that's great." She was like, "Do you play?" Like, yeah, I played when it was a fad. Hey, but if you play it though, more power to you. It's all, hey. I mean,
it's good. The changes they've done on it and all the stuff they added, I really respect and appreciate.
No, the fact that it's still being updated and the fact that it still has a big following is credit to them. Because the Harry Potter game was advertised.
Yeah, I mean, it's backed by Pokemon, but my thing is like, it's going to be around for a while because there's competitive play.
Yeah.
Like, they just had internationals for it.
Yeah, I remember...
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, so I remember they were advertising really hard the Harry Potter game. Like, everywhere.
There was a Harry Potter game, but then as I say that, it comes in my mind. It's like, there was a Harry Potter game.
No, there was, because dude, they were advertising it hard. Like, I remember every YouTube ad was just that. And at first I'm like, I'm a Harry Potter fan. I'm like, oh, that looks good. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm sure with the fan base Harry Potter has, people are gonna want to live in the digital wizarding world of Harry Potter. And the last time I heard of it was through the ad, and I haven't seen anyone play it. I haven't seen people on Reddit, on YouTube, on Twitch. Like, it's there, and then the ad was there, and then the ad was gone, and I don't know if the game ever came out, if anyone ever played it.
No, it came out, and it blew up for a little bit, and then it died down. And then Walking Dead did the exact same thing, and that blew up, and then that died down.
What the heck? Would you walk around shoot zombies virtually?
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, there was a zombie thing when the iPhone was first becoming a thing, 2007, 2009. There was a game that was similar where it would take your GPS location, and it was really badly done. But honestly, you got to give props to what they tried to do. It was a little like it would start vibrating in your pocket. You look at there's zombies nearby. The whole thing was to survive and not get bit from these invisible zombies you can't see.
And the funny thing is, take that game. Mm-hmm. Just strip it and put Walking Dead on it, and that's literally what they did.
I mean, there was nothing more to it. Now, of course, we got into because of Pokemon Go, a bunch of GeoRPGs or Geo games came out, and a GeoRPG known as Orna, brainchild of Odie. Good game. It's a good game. It's still a fun one if you like the grind, but it's an RPG. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great.
Very well done, but the grind is real, man. The grind is
simple yet beautiful. And I mean, hey, we're still in our guild. Your car's extended warranty, so I mean, it's some good stuff, bro. I haven't played in some time, but when I do, I usually go through, take some high level stuff. Like, all right, walking back.
So enough of that.
Okay.
Yeah, enough of that. We're over that. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yes, I worked a convention called. So I was voluntold to do it, right? And I got some. my boss's boss.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, granted, she was there with me, so it wasn't too bad. But I was always like, you know what? I always wondered what it was like being on the other side of the convention, right? Being the one working it and not, walking around. And for those curious, it was Earth X. It was in Dallas, and it was plant based, like trees, different types of seeds. Just if you have a green thumb, you were there. One of those things, right?
This was an Earth Day, was it? Was this the Earth Day convention?
Yeah.
Okay, is this where they made that weird song, "The Wet Planet"? To WAP?
No.
Okay, well that's a great rendition. You should look it up. I was like, no way. Did you see that first-hand front row seats? Because that was a banger. Like,
no. Like, because like where I work, we deal with that stuff, so I wasn't there. But it was fun though. It was cool being on the other side of that, especially when the kids came in on a field trip, and I was like, yes, I remember the good old field trip days. That was quite pleasant.
I would never take you to a convention, but it's still pretty cool.
Well, it was more because it was like sciencey, so.
Fair. Yeah. When you said convention, I was straight thinking weeaboo, like, hey, anime baby, or something.
No,
and then you said Earth X, and I'm like, never a fan of those games, I guess.
No, but anyways, let's get into the topic, right? Because this topic came to me because I watched the movie. I watched the movie and I was like, I want more. I need more. Why isn't there more? And I was like, you know what? I got my movie. I'm sure there are other movies out there that deserve a second chance at life, or at least a sequel. Hell, I'll take even a reboot. Whatever. I don't care. But no, this one in particular, though, no reboot. Literally, I need a sequel because the cast was. But before we get to me, I'm gonna start with GCJ.
So, we're talking, of course, about sequels, and I do appreciate that, not reboots. We're not saying it needs to be changed. We're saying it didn't get its due credit, and it should get something, a new thing. And for me, I'm going to start off Constantine. I brought it up, and I've got to stay on it. Constantine was a great movie, okay? Paul Giamatti as the devil, freaking Keanu Reeves as Constantine. I think he did a bang-up job doing that. The movie itself was a dark movie. Took some people by surprise. Weirdly, it was. I mean, to say like for a superhero movie, it did really well. It brought a lot to the table. It was a really good movie. It was dark. Yep.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, it was dark. It was dark, but it was good. And I think that us not putting a sequel to it is a travesty. Now, we talked a little bit about this, and you had mentioned that he had mentioned that on a talk show. I think I saw that, but my thing is we still haven't heard anything about it. So I'm standing it. I am standing this Constantine, Second Coming or something, where he's literally like Constantine. Get Keanu Reeves in on it. Let's see the house.
Yeah. Like with like with Constantine. Here's the thing, right? So when Constantine came out, I didn't know who he was. Okay, and for me, it was a Keanu Reeves movie. That's all I knew it as. And I never went to the movie theater to watch it. It was just one of those things where I saw the trailers and it looked fascinating, but it also looked like, whatever, right? Because I didn't know the background to it, right? But that being said, me and Jacob, I feel like our first, outside of I think it was before Hardball. Maybe Hardball was first. I don't know. But I feel like our first Keanu Reeves movie was The Matrix. But it could have been Hardball.
No.
Was it Drive? Or was it Drive? Oh, not Drive. Was it the first one? Speed. That's what Speed. Yeah.
Speed. That's my first.
Okay, Speed. Okay. Let me rephrase that. Speed was a movie we did watch, but it wasn't a movie we watched consistently. It was one of those, whether it was on TV or on cable. For me, at least.
I've watched it quite a few times.
Okay. All right. Okay. For me, let me rephrase. For myself, then, Speed was a movie that was just on TV, and I never caught it from the beginning. I always caught it where he's under the thing and he punctures the gas tank. That's where I always end up picking up, right? But for me, the Keanu Reeves was Keanu Reeves through with the Matrix, right? So that being said, I still didn't watch it until years later, and I mean years, like almost 5-6 years after the release.
I mean, I'm going to be quite honest. I still haven't seen it. Not for lack of want. I've wanted to. I just forget to watch it. Constantine is. I will put it up there with Blade, to the point where you don't know it's a comic book movie until you get told it's a comic book movie. Like when Blade came out, no one knew it was who Blade was. It's a vampire movie. Then you find out Blade is the reason Marvel is still alive.
Oh yeah.
Like you find out, it's like, oh, this is a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And then Constantine comes out, and you don't hear much about it. But then you got the true nerds who, at that time, I didn't know who Constantine was. Now knowing who Constantine is, I really want to watch the movie because I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
I'm going to watch it by the end of the month. I'm going to watch it.
I had to read it on Amazon.
His oldest in high school. But I've seen it.
Yeah, but you know, so I remember being at my friend's house and we watched it, and still I'm watching it. And I'm just like, I mean, so the movie starts off kind of fascinating, right? Like, you literally, you got these dudes digging up stuff for the most part. They find a spear. He touches, or is it a spear or like a dagger? Oh, it's a spear, right? That punctured Jesus, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then like he grabs it and becomes possessed, and like when he's walking, I remember the scene where he's walking and the cows are just dropping dead as he's walking, and I'm like, what is this? So I'm like, oh, so it's a paranormal movie, which I wasn't wrong. I mean, technically it is, but
yeah,
supernatural, not paranormal, but yeah,
yes, tomato, for me at least.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't believe in difference between ghosts and spirits. I feel they're all the same.
It's not necessarily about the difference of ghosts and spirits. It's the difference between establishing heaven and hell, and just saying that spirits and the undead and different apparitions don't necessarily have a tie to that religion.
So I mean, there is a difference between supernatural and paranormal. Paranormal is more
ghostly.
Spirits, and supernatural is
demonic.
Not just demonic, but like stuff like, you know, Bigfoot, you know,
things bigger than our life, like bigger, like there's something bigger. Hold on,
you consider Bigfoot paranormal?
No, supernatural.
I mean, supernatural?
Yes. Okay, because they're supernatural, and then paranormal is like underneath.
The show is phenomenal. I love that show. But anyways, like, just to finish off my thought, you know, I watched it. I was confused, but because you know I didn't know it was a DC movie, but that movie has some memorable moments that really captivated it for me. Where I was like, "Yo, that's kind of sick." And the main one being where I saw it and I was like, "Yo, this is kind of metal." Was when the friend gives technically Constantine kind of takes his lucky charm away from him, right? And then he's like, "I'm only gonna need it for like a day. You'll be fine." And well, he wasn't fine. So because like you know, like he's panicking and he goes to a corner store and he starts downing liquor and as he's downing it, it's cool because you see him like trying to chug it. You see the bottle getting empty, but you see nothing coming out, and he's freaking out. So he's like you know trying to drink, and he even gets to the point where he grabs the bottle and breaks it on the side and just tries to chug it, and nothing's happening, and he has a heart attack and just collapses. And then you know you see a demon like watching him, like because he's the one that's doing it, and you see like from the kind of like the cashier's kind of point of view, whatever, where you see all the liquor pouring out of his mouth. So he basically drowned himself, but before he died, you know he put his message in his hand, but. It's pretty tight because like that's happening, and the cashier is literally an angel, and they do nothing to stop it. Like he goes there and comforts him, like, "You die now, you alcoholic, you," and looks at the devil or the demon. "Shame on you for killing him." And I'm like, okay, listen, you were right there the whole time. You were right there the whole time. You let the poor SOB drown to death.
So that's and that's the other thing. I thought it was liquor poisoning. Like he thought it wasn't going into him, but in actuality, he was drinking it.
Yeah, but he drowned
And
himself too with the liquor.
Yeah. So he was like, I don't know why. Like you're getting what you want. It's like what, and then it starts coming out of his mouth. And before he drowns, before he dies, and before he becomes too inebriated, he just etches it, and it's such a good scene. I mean, there's a lot of things, and to be honest, in that movie and what cemented, there were a lot of good ones. It kept me on the edge of my seat when I was watching it the whole entire time. I love the scene where they took a mirror in to do the exorcism. That was freaking dope. But I will say the best Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti as the devil was a great pick. And when Constantine calls him to come take his soul and stuff like that, and like makes the deal, and Giamatti's just like, yeah, sure, done, whatever, I'll save her. There you go. And then all of a sudden he gets saved, like he's about to die, so he's about to go to heaven. Oh heck no! Boom! New lungs. You get to try again. It's like, oh, dude. Like,
and what's so funny about that scene is like, I know it's unintentional, but I'm gonna just reference another movie. This Is the End, where James Franco is being selfless and he's floating up. He's like, "Yeah, mother effers," and then he falls down and gets eaten because he was being petty.
It's pretty much like that. Like the devil is so petty. Like, I'm not losing this soul that I have worked for literal years. Like so much so. Yeah.
Like you're saying, like he wanted his soul so badly. He said, "I came down personally to claim it."
Whenever you called me.
And then he just rips out the lung cancer. He's like, nah. Now you're going to show God you're a bad boy. And then literally.
Yeah, like, oh, no. You get to redo this. It's a great duality because you see God as the healer. And that's what I'm saying. This was a great movie to show that. Show this amazing duality. And the fact it didn't get a second one just baffles me. It was ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time.
And especially the fact that he got a second chance at life and he's chewing nicotine gum now. I'm like, and then it would have been cool if they brought back Shia LaBeouf. I mean, because I know he died, but technically that character is immortal. So it would have been like, just bring him back. No one would have batted an eye. And
I will say my brother actually liked because he liked the ending of it, but then he was like, it would have been better just because he likes how the movie was all about the balance between good and evil, or the fight between good and evil. It would have been funny if he would have been chewing the nicotine, but then took like a swig of alcohol as he was walking away, like, okay, bro. And Michael thought that was, my brother thought that was like the coolest thing, or it would have been like the best way to end. I was like, honestly, that would have made it way better. But my thing is, it was already good. Like Isaac said, he was trying to redeem himself, but Paul Giamatti knows. And he is not any person in my book but the devil now. Like is what it is. I could see him making a deal. But yeah, so that's my pick. Constantine needs a 2 and needs to be the exact same cast. Don't change it. Don't change a thing, baby.
So, Jigga, do you want me to go next, or do you want it?
You go ahead.
All right. So the movie that brought this idea to my attention is a movie I feel is very let me rephrase it. It is a cult classic. A lot of people like it, but for the time, the popularity wasn't there outside of the hardcore fans. Like there wasn't enough there for people to be like, for big movie companies to be like, yo, we'll pick it up and we'll help fund it and so on and so forth. I don't want to make it seem like no one liked the movie. I feel a lot of people liked the movie, but
Space Jam. I mean, there's a 2 now, but
Space Jam was Space Jam. That's a massive. I don't come in with this. No, it's Judge Dredd or just Dredd, 2012. Not Sylvester Stallone. Mm-hmm. I never knew Sylvester Stallone did Dredd, so that's the thing. All right, so like Constantine, I did not know Dredd was a comic-based character, right? So I'm going in naive to the whole concept of it. I'm just like, yo. Carl Urban, for me, is a very underrated actor. And one of my favorite movies, though people may say it's one of the worst movies out there, but I still enjoyed it because I was a child when I watched it, so it was just so sick. It was Doom, when he played Reaper. Like he was like super dope there, and I was like, okay. And
Meeting CGI Rock.
dude,
Yeah.
right? And he becomes like a super soldier. Anyway, that's new. So yeah, no, but Dread, I that one I remember watching on cable at my grandparents' house after school because it was just on. I think it was on Stars. And what caught my attention right off the bat was the helmet. I thought the helmet was sick, dude. Like, you know, it's simple, right? It's a simple design, but it's one of those like you see the helmet, and you're like, oh hell, like, you know, it's a very impactful visual with this, you know, the all black with the black visor with the red, you know, and the giant badge right there, and yeah, no. So that movie, it for me, it had everything. It had a great story, a great cast, which I also didn't know this. It had so at the time, you know, Game of Thrones wasn't really doing. I don't think it existed yet. But for those Game of Thrones fans, Cersei, or what's her name? I think it's Lena Headey. She plays the villain. She plays Mama, who also has an amazing background where like she's literally a prostitute turned drug lord. And, you know, she produces this drug called slow-mo where people, I mean, you take it, then you slow down, right? And what was so fascinating about Judges, so it takes place in it's called a mega city, right? And, you know, it's, I guess, post-apocalyptic, right? You know, they have these giant walls, and, you know, they have these people on the outside of the walls and the normal people on the inside. And, you know, there's so many people, I think that recalls like 800 million people, to where they're like, we can't just have a normal judicial system, so let's do the next best thing and make the judges they do the trial, the execution, they do it all, right? Like they're a walking judge, police / judge. And right off the bat, you know, you get these guys in a van, doped up, driving carelessly, and you know, you see Judge come on his sick bike, which I mean his bike was kind of sick, right?
Yeah.
And with you know, at first you're like, oh, it's just another action movie, but it's not. It's more than that, right? I would put it up there with John Wick. A different styles of movie, but they're both action movies, but they're action movies that have a purpose and not just, you know, a Michael Bay movie. And for me, I love blood and gore, and this movie was packed of it. Like it was full. Like you see right off the bat, you see a guy get hit by the van, and literally blood splatters everywhere. And the judge is like, "They just killed an innocent. I'm gonna take him out." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I mean, this one kind of reminded me of RoboCop, but they have a gun where he could switch between the rounds. And my favorite scene from it is literally from the beginning. My favorite scene is where he's negotiating, and the guy has the girl captive. Like, you know, let me go, I'm gonna kill her.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I'll make a deal with you. You let her go, you'll serve life without parole.
Yeah, it's like, let her go, and I'll just take your life, not take your life, you know?
And he's like, are you kidding me? And legit just shoots an incendiary bullet in his mouth, and like his head melts. And said, and you have that, and you have his sidekick or the trainee who has like psychic abilities, and you know, you see a door come down and literally flatten a homeless guy, and it literally, it's like a 200-story building, and it's like a game of zombies where, I mean, they're not fighting zombies, but like they're going up every level to try to get to the drug lord. And they're just like, they just have Gatling guns, just chilling. And they're just shooting through the walls and killing people like, whatever. And, oh man. But yeah, no. That movie, like I said, the storyline is perfect. Carl Urban as Dredd, especially when he goes against the other Dreads, and the dude gets shot.
Yep.
He gets shot and just falls down. No noise or nothing. He just takes it like a G. It just falls down. I'm like, okay, bro. So I mean, because you've seen it, right, GCJ?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you
Yes,
think of it?
both. Because I originally I played Dread like on the video game on the console,
Oh,
and so I
that a
was like,
game?
Dread, the game. And then I was like, oh, Dread has a movie, Sylvester Stallone. That's kind of okay, but it's okay. It's Sylvester Stallone. It's like, I mean, with every Sylvester Stallone movie
I don't
from
want
Rocky.
I don't want to sound rude. Sylvester Stallone is like Nicolas Cage. They play themselves.
No, and that's my thing. Is like all the way to Expendables, like 2000 or whatever. Every one of those movies, every movie he's been in, is literally Rocky Balboa, Time Cop. Rocky Balboa, Rambo. Like, so I understand he's iconic for Rambo. People know him between Rambo and Rocky, but let's be fair, the more iconic character is Rocky. The one that got more sequels, Rocky. And even in Rambo, because I watched Rocky first, I just saw Rocky Balboa, freaking Vietnam veteran. It's like, Expendables was a great. But either way, so my thing is like, so Judge Dredd is like, okay, the 2012 one though, like the serious, like you said, the gore is like, whoa, this went places I didn't even expect. It is, and well, I also like oh, what was his name? Was it Carl Urban?
Yeah, Carl Urban.
I actually like, yeah, I actually like him. Most of the time, I see him in secondary roles, like from Chronicles of Riddick. The last, not the last one, but the second one. I guess Chronicles of Riddick is the first.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. Red. When he's the young agent trying to stop Bruce Willis and stuff like that. I think he is a very underrated actor. I think that he's just great, and he did that role justice. You could only take it one step further, as if they made a new Hitman and put him as that, just shaved and bald. I would definitely watch it again.
Maybe.
I would. He's
can't...
got the seriousness. Mind you, I'm not saying Hitman was bad. I actually did enjoy it. I think that the actor that played Hitman, though I don't know the name. Yeah, the first Hitman.
Yeah, that movie was flawless in my opinion. He looked the part
very well. I'm saying that if you were to make another one and shave Carl Urban and put him there, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it. I'd rather see the original actor, but I wouldn't be opposed to see it with him.
But but I would love to see Dredd. I would love it as a sequel. A sequel would be good, but honestly, I think as a TV series, like an HBO TV series of Dredd, would be kind of sick.
Honestly, I would love to watch a show about that, like just this.
No, because mainly like his origin story is kind of sick because he's basically a clone of the first Judge.
Yeah. And the closest that he can get to it.
Yeah, and then like it was like him and it was him and he has a brother. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, bro, it'd be kind of cool if you could like expand on that or whatnot. And yeah, no, man. Like,
to be fair, I was today's years old before I learned that apparently it was a comic strip. So you said that, and I was like, I only knew it as a game first, and then they made it into a movie.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, man, they're really jumping on this game. It was a decent game, a really fun game.
Yeah, no, because what's so cool about the comic strip? I mean, I never read it, right? But I've seen YouTube videos where people explain the story.
Read it for you. It's
pretty much.
Like
but like one thing is another reason why I wanted to watch the movie is because like a few months back, Warzone released his skin, and they had they had the Judge Dredd skin, and you also have Judge Dredd in black and white. Which I always thought like that's so sick. I didn't buy it, but it was sick.
Hey, if you have Game Pass, I say Game Pass is actually the PlayStation 4 version, the PlayStation Plus, whatever. They have this game called Broforce, which was a fun little side scroller of just the manliest heroes, including the chick from Alien, like just the greatest heroes of all time, and Dredd is one of them. And I think it's called The Judge, and it's just I love playing his character. It's just like his bullets can bounce and run against the wall. It's just such a good.
He's sick, man. And then, like I said,
anytime I see a cameo of him, I'm like, that's it.
And then I can only imagine how Carl Urban's face felt after that movie because he's literally.
Yeah.
the whole
Well, I was just saying,
time.
like he like serious stoic. But honestly, but then you watch him in a movie, and this is now turning into a Carl Urban appreciation post. But seriously, if you haven't watched Red, Retired and Extremely Dangerous, I think he does phenomenal in that to bring both the set of comedy but seriousness to pretty much a comedy, and it is a comedy. It is great. I think that he is just underrated. But anyway,
Yeah. Zombie says
so
he always thought I Am Legend needed a sequel. It would have been good, you know.
I thought they were making a sequel, aren't they?
No, no. I
No,
know.
okay.
I know. I know it's based
Or
off
it's
a
a
book.
remake. Something,
Uh,
something came out for I Am Legend. They're doing
I will
something.
say. I will say the movie was great. I did enjoy the movie. I thought the movie was
Yeah,
really
movie was
good.
amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So Jacob, I don't think you've ever seen Dread, right?
Not the second one. I've seen the first one.
that's two. Oh well, no.
Wait, what do you
That's
mean?
two movies you haven't watched. He's watched the Sylvester Stallone, not the
Yes.
Carl Urban one.
The,
All right. Yeah. Okay. I was confused. I was like, wait.
Isaac can't even register that. Like, what movie? What are you even talking about? You're talking about pre-urban?
I didn't think it was bad.
Look. Sylvester
Personally,
Stallone
but
took
I
off his
thought-
helmet. He took off his helmet. Judge Dredd does not take off his helmet for
Take
anyone.
off his helmet. Yep, does not take off the helmet. That man probably.
He started the Mandalorian. He started the Mandalorian Code.
I was watching that movie when I was a kid. My dad had it on TV, and I watched it with them. That's all I remember.
Yeah, no.
Our dad or y'all's dad?
Me and Isaac's dad.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird. But
right, so let me
go for it, bro. Go for it.
So as I was getting my props set up, because this was going to be my pick.
Hey, that's all the time we have for tonight. So thank you for letting us.
I came across another movie that also didn't do well in the box office, but had a cult following. Actually, did amazing after it left the movies. Like
Twilight.
So amazing, huh?
Twilight.
Yep, that's it.
Got Pilgrim versus the World.
Boom.
Oh! He's got it. And for the audio listeners, he pulled up the case for Scott Pilgrim
this
the World.
movie right here. I was getting my prop, and then I saw this, and I looked. I was like, "Man, this was a great movie." I never heard
Michael Cera from the touch me, bring me.
Like I never. Well, I played some of the game. I read like the first volume of the manga, but I never finished it.
Oh,
and
man.
I saw. I think they had like a small animated thing on YouTube that I saw.
It was just the prequel before the movie. When the movie was coming out, they sent out the animation of his last high school.
Yeah.
Well, I'm invested, baby. When I saw I love that movie.
But like I remember going to the movies with Allison when I was still living in Odessa, and this was on the movies, and we're walking past it, and Allison's like, "Hey, my friend said that was a good movie. You want to watch it?" And I saw it. I remember seeing the trailer. Like, that seems stupid. That seemed like a stupid movie. Like as far as like stupid comedy, I was like. Which, I mean, I'm surprised I still didn't watch it because I like Napoleon Dynamite. I like Hot Rod, and those are stupid, funny movies. I was like,
Blades of Fury or whatever. Blades of
Blades
Glory.
Blades of Glory. Balls of Fury. Dodgeball. Like, I love stupid. And I was like, I'm not going to watch it. And then I don't know when I first watched it, but I just remember watching it and thinking to myself,
"Watch what?
Do what?" Watching Scott Pilgrim, and like I watched it the first time, I was like so confused. I'm like, what the freak is going on? And like I liked it, but I didn't know why I liked it. I'm like, why do I like this? So I watched it again, and it's like, this movie is amazing. Macaulay Culkin's brother, Will, in the movie is the best character in the movie. Like Scott Pilgrim. The gay
you talking about Oh, that's Wallace.
Wallace. Wallace.
Wallace.
Yeah.
You love Wallace. It makes that movie. Wallace makes that movie. Second, I said the second place to that movie is The Vegan Boyfriend.
Yep.
That guy was fire every time he spoke.
Wait. Do you mean Superman?
You mean Ant-Man? Or no?
Adam, bro. Adam. He did become Superman afterwards in that same series.
He was Superman first, and then he became the Atom.
And then he went back to Superman for an episode.
Oh, did he? That's cool.
Yeah, he was an older Clark Kent. It was during the whole dimension thing.
Oh, you're doing the Infinite Earths thing.
Yeah.
That's right. The WB. Yeah.
Yeah, that was garbage.
He was absolutely like second best character. And honestly, it's hard too because the third best would be freaking what's his name? Chris Evans.
Lucas.
Yeah, Chris Evans. Lucas. When you see him, it's like that's not Captain America, but it definitely is. Like,
this man beat the Torch, Captain America, Superman, and the Atom. What more do you want?
And he beat that one guy from Heroes who could take all powers. Gideon at the end. Oh, look at that! He ended 3 whole seasons. Like,
so real quick, Legend or not Legend, Epic Zombie Killer song by the Blob should have gotten a sequel, which is that's a 50s movie, like a 58 movie. So that's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, man.
I've seen it. I'm echoing off someone's mic. I think that's Juicy.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm echoing off of Juicy. Yeah. And then he said he would have loved the Shaun of the Dead too, which, yes, I love Shaun of the Dead. I don't know if you guys watched that.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is great. No, anything with Simon Pegg, but bro, because that movie, I was like, okay, so what else does this guy have? And then I actually skipped over Hot Fuzz and I watched oh gosh, it's the one where he runs. He's trying to do a race. It's really stupid. His roommate's always pantless on his balcony. When people come to him, they're like, hey, I need to talk to you. He's like, it always shows him completely pantsless, like, well, come on up, but they can't see that portion. It's just, I want to say it's The Wall or something like that, The Hardest Mile or something. But either way, Simon Pegg got me, and then Hot Fuzz. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead. Sorry, I love Simon Pegg. I think he's a genius. So
yeah, but with back to Jacob movie, the
Scott Pilgrim, baby.
Pilgrim. So there was a time when my brother and sister-in-law were young and in love, living in a tiny apartment, which I went over a couple times, chilled with them, and they had all these movies. And every time I went, Jacob was like, "Yo, I got this movie you're gonna love. You're gonna love it." And I'm like, "Okay."
You are echoing off something.
I think it's up to him, but we're good now.
It's not going through my. It's only going through the headset.
I think we're good now. Yeah, no, it's.
Okay.
No, we're good now. But my opinion, Shaun of the Dead is the most iconic. His most iconic role. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jacob always say, it's hilarious. You're gonna love it, and I'm like, okay. And the first one I remember he showed me was Hot Rod. Because Jacob quoted it so much, and even Allison would do like the super ultra punch or something, and I'm like, "What is that?" She's like, "Oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it." And I remember I watched it, and after it finished, I remember Jacob looked at me kind of like, and I was just there like,
"Yeah, I didn't like it."
I was like, "This movie sucks." He was like, "What? You didn't like it?"
Have good opinions, Jacob.
He was like, "No, wait." So I was like, this movie sucks, right? And then another time I go over, he's like, okay, you're gonna like this one because you like video games. So this was gonna hit home with you. It's gonna hit home with you. And I remember we watched it, and Jacob for sure was like, and I'm still just there like, this movie sucks. and for me at that time, I just didn't care for it, and because I guess for me, I kind of got burned out on those movies because the Napoleon Dynamite was phenomenal, right? Jacob and I watched it at one point every day. I felt like no, but seriously, no, like we were able to quote that whole movie from beginning to end at one point.
Everybody has it. Me and my group had Anchorman. We literally watch Anchorman every day.
And,
we could walk through that scene script,
and
whole
so
movie script.
I watched that, and then the next movie that Jacob did similarly was Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dodgeball.
And it got to the point to where every when it comes to movies, there's always a different eras, right? You have the era of the parodies where it started with Scary Movie. Or
no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Well, either one. Those teen movies, right? Like whatever.
Yeah,
It started with those, right? Like you have the horror parodies with Scary Movie, when they went on to making like superhero parodies, and there's parodies with like three
superhero movie, not another action movie.
And it got like they milked that couch completely dry. And for me, with those movies, I feel like they had an era for those movies where you had, like I said, Dodgeball, Anchorman, Balls of Fury, Blades of Glory, Hot Rod, and for me,
Walk Hard.
So stuff like that. And for me, at that time, I saw, because I didn't know this movie was based on an actual video game or a comic strip, right?
Yeah.
And for me, watching it at face value, I'm like, it just gave off that vibe of, hey, it's stupid, so laugh. And I was already like tapped out on that. I was over that era of or that genre of movies. That being said, though, years later, after I neglected that stuff, I went back, and I remember I was like, I want to see why Hot Rod is so good. I want to see why. I'm going in clean slate, open mind, and I watched it. And now, granted, I still don't feel like I loved it as much as my brother and sister-in-law did, but I was like, okay, I see it. I see the humor. I see why people love it. I now enjoy the movie, not to the extent that they do, but I'm not gonna say I hate that movie now. Like, I'll say it is a good movie. And
I still remember the first time I watched it. Allison recommended it. We're at Big Lots and looking at their DVD bin, and she was like, "Hey, this movie, my friend, which is the same friend that told us about this movie,
Pilgrim,
was like." Said this was really good. I'm looking at it, and the cover looked like a bootleg movie. Like, it was so simple. Like, there was hardly any effort put into this. I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know what? It's Saturday night. It's only $3. What do I got to lose? And so we buy it. Because I remember we were at the Big Lots in Midland, and we buy it and we drive home to my apartment. We pop it in, and the first scene of his stunt and crashing into the truck and just throwing
what was it, the totem of the dolphin or something? I don't remember what the first one was like. All right.
And then he's all like, "Hey, let's secure the ramp, right?" Nah, we didn't have time for that. Cool. And then he goes to the ramp collapses, smashes into the truck, and just throws up in pain. Like, right there, I'm like, all right, I'm sold. This movie got it.
So the movie was great. We're talking about a completely different movie. I will say the movie was great, but what finally got me was like almost directly after that when he goes to fight his dad in the basement. That whole gladiator fight where he's getting set up with the mouth guard walking down there. It's like, oh my God. Speaking of, but coming back to Scott Pilgrim, from start to finish, it's a great movie. It goes quickly. Yeah. It established the story instantly. I actually read something recently. I still learn stuff about this movie. I read that the director wanted to make it as though no one was blinking unless they were like turning or moving.
Oh yeah,
in the movie. Yeah. I was like, no way. What do you think about it? So I had to go watch it again. Watch it again. This is beautiful.
He did that because he wanted to feel like an actual comic strip. Yeah.
Okay, so and I will say this: what the movie, like, of course, I was anticipating it. My favorite part is whenever he's at the party and he saw Ramona, and he's like, "Scribbles, hey man, have you seen it?" And just holds up this scribble. She looks like this. Oh yeah, that's Ramona. It's like that's great story building. And then seamless, like, hey, we should go on a date. Sure, they walk out the door and out into a park, and they're on their like second date. I'm like, this is a great movie. It's going quick. It's everything you could ever want. And then I can't remember his name. Scott Pilgrim. Have you been getting my emails? Or I messaged you on AIM. Like,
yeah. So
the music. This one's for the guy.
Amazing.
We call this "We Hate You, Please Die." Oh, I love this one.
Like the reason this movie is better than Hot Rod is one, the storyline. There's actually a good storyline. That's fluid. The music is on point. The music is absolutely amazing. Like this,
Beck came back and did all of their songs. Like it was good.
And then just the whole like superhero, and then the retro gaming. Whatchamacallit? Like, I lost my train of thought. Like, pretty much them going back and talking about Zelda and Tetris and like all these, and like the director even messaged the creator of Zelda to see if they could use the music, and the creator's like, yeah, go for it. Like, to me, I'm like, they put a lot of effort for this
Nega Scott at the end being like Dark Link and stuff. And okay, so but can we just like really accept that they had some pretty big name actors and actresses though in it that you didn't really expect? But it's the scene, like, Wallace still is the prize.
Yeah.
Like, whenever Knives comes to see him, like, oh, tell her I'm not here. It's like, oh, what's going on? This Scott is here. Oh, no. Jumps out the window behind him. He just left. Like, just doesn't miss a beat. Great acting.
All right, so let me go and cut you guys off because I'm sure you guys could gush nonstop.
Hey, next lunch chatting, we will break down Scott Pilgrim. Let's do it.
So, that being said, real quick, Zombie Killer says he's asking if they'll make a sequel to Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, and I will say that movie was so horrible. I hope they do. I hope they do. The movie was god awful, and I loved every minute of it. And then
I'm hoping for The Room too.
And he said Jurassic World Dominion second trailer came out and it was fire. I can't trust Jurassic Park no more because they flirted, they teased me with Dr. Malcolm, and I only got like 2 minutes of him. So right now, Jurassic Park or Jurassic World is not on my good side. But we'll see. I mean, obviously they're bringing back the whole cast, so that'll be pretty cool.
There'll be a Scarlet Witch too. Not Scarlet Witch. What was it? A Black Widow too.
But anyways, just going to wrap it up there. So yeah, Jacob, where can people find us, bro?
Find us on Instagram at Dooless Chat, TikTok at Dooless Chat, Instagram at Dooless Chat. I don't know if I said that. Twitter at Dooless Chat. If you're listening to us, follow our YouTube, Dooless Chat.
What's up, Swan?
And just let us know what movie y'all would want a sequel to.
And if you're new and you're catching the VOD and you like what you hear, go on and give us a like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, that way you know when we go live or make an upload. And hey, I didn't know you hated Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, bro. No, I didn't hate it. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was just not a good movie.
He recognizes the quality of which came from the movie.
Yeah, no, the movie was terrible, but I loved every minute of it. But yeah, no. So catch us next Thursday at 9:30 Central Time. This Saturday, I didn't tell Jacob this, but I'm going to tell him right now. We're going to do a Duelist Co-op Couch Edition, where he and I are. Yes, where we're going to play DKC side by side.
But how are you going to get a couch to fit across cities?
You're right.
We'll see. We'll see if we have time Saturday. We got a lot of stuff going on Saturday.
I feel like if we do an early one, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
I would love to be the couch to y'all's co-op.
I hope you were, man. I hope you were. When's the next tier list, bro? You want another tier list?
A tier list.
Well, we'll do it. We'll do one soon. I'm thinking of doing one for Resident Evil. So maybe we'll do that, and then
we can hit up a tier list for Final Fantasy. Like break down some of them, the most popular ones, and be like, where does it fall? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't have that many experience with all the Final Fantasies. Maybe.
Well, they never end. Like,
yeah, but anyways, go on. Cut this off. So appreciate everyone that stopped by. Twan, Zombie. Thank you guys for stopping by. Catch you guys next time. Later. All right, so Jacob, I need you to help me. I need you to do me a favor.